Hey everyone, we're gonna get back at it again today. It's Saturday morning. Yesterday we had our test with Jonah, and I think it went really, really well. The biggest thing that sticks out to me is that we got some pretty good validation that this is like a product that could be useful. Because even without prompting, like literally just saying, hey, tell me about this early stage, how do these meetings go? He was putting together, okay, Sam's asking me about this, brainstorm session meeting. He's clearly got a digital product he's going to show me. There's something going on here. Talking about that, he was able to articulate some of the things that are the biggest risks to the project that we're working on, which we think we have ways to solve. So that's exciting. He was able to say that it is really a difficult problem. He strongly validated the remote issue. That was a really big deal because we know he just did one. We even asked him, what would be preventing you from using this next time? He said nothing. That just, besides, getting it to work, that's less strong, I think, because we just don't know if that's true or not, because generally what I want people to do is sign, and I want to sell them in that question. You can't sell them if your app breaks in the test. So that was a big negative. It broke. What was it? Of course, missing or insufficient permissions from Firebase rules. I was testing on the wrong account. I had tested it, but I forgot to test it without an admin account. You probably saw it coming. Maybe you did. So that was a bit of a bummer that the test didn't work because it was broken. But I will say, as a developer of a product, it was a bummer that the test failed. Not that big a bummer, because as a video creator trying to show the reality of startup products, I don't think live demos just break all the time. They just do. There's something about a live demo that makes things break more than it would. It just happens. So that's realistic. And we're going to try to fix it. The white whale, the freaking missing and insufficient permissions. What else about that one? I mean, he had a lot of great ideas, a lot of good ideas, and it gave me even more ideas for what I might want to work on, like specifically this whole two-dimensional thing we mentioned before. Like he talked about that. Good ideas and tips for the UI and the usability tests. So just lots of good ideas. I think maybe one reason people don't like doing these product tests and talking to people is that they're going to give you a lot of ideas and feature requests, and then if you add them to your backlog, you'll think like, oh God, we can't build all of this, we're screwed. And then you think the answer is just not talking to people, because if you don't talk to them, they won't give you feature requests, and then you won't have to deal with this overwhelming. But that ain't the way, because you're not talking to people who are actually going to use your thing, and you're not going to figure out which feature requests you should actually build. It's fine getting feature requests. We're not going to build all that, but we are going to try to build eventually the things that are most important to him. We've gotten two tests so far, not a ton of conversations, but some validation that we're onto something here, I think. So I'm going to go through and review those tests like I did with Jason. I'm going to walk back and add a bunch of stuff to Asana and take some notes and listen back to Jonas. And I'll do that in another day. Today, I want to just see if I can't get some shit done with these damn security rules. And I have a couple new thoughts on it. One is, let me pull up my code thing real quick, because I'm going to write this down. If I don't do it, I'll forget. And where's Chrome? Let's just get ourselves set up here real quick. Okay. So how to fix the damn permissions thing? Well, a couple options. One, I think I'm going to do write out the tests I want to pass. Like the test that I want to pass, the test that I want to succeed, rather. And why am I doing that? Because I want to figure out the scope that I have to build for it. I've heard about test-driven development forever. I get the general idea. I've used that methodology essentially for design. Like people should be able to get to this in 3 clicks or 1 click. People should be able to do this. And so then you go back and you do that exhaustive list, and then you go back and make sure they're all passing. So we got to write out the list of tests. That might involve reading documentation on how to write tests. And that could be in general, in Mocha, which is this tool we're using, in Firebase, which is a specific thing we're using. AKA RTFM. One thing that I think designers forget to do a lot, and probably engineers, I won't really speak for engineers, I don't really consider myself one, is that they forget to ask for help. I'm going to ask for help. And the way I'm going to do that is actually I'm going to write a Stack Overflow post describing my problem. I'm going to say write and not post a Stack Overflow post because in my experience, I find that 75% of the time, just writing out a complex problem like this and clearly articulating it just helps you figure out what to Google, and then you're basically done. You've thought about the problem. Once you understand the problem, the solution will just be obvious. So maybe that'll be a problem, but I'm guessing writing it might just be good enough. And what else I want to do? Oh. So this is part of RTFM. The last time I was working on this, I closed off for the day and then I came back on the camera. I was like, I just want to spend a little bit more Googling this. Like I want to Google this and see how people do it because I hadn't Googled it and I'm trying to do everything on camera. I am doing everything on camera, so I have to do that. And what did the Firebase, I'm pouring some tea. What did it say? It said nested data. And I was like, oh God. But you know what? Some things are nested. Not everything's nested in our structure. I think it works like this. Users and organizations are at the top level because users and organizations have a many-to-many relationship. But in organizations, there are boards, right? And templates. Let's do this for this sake. And what's inside boards are slides. And then, cards and reactions theoretically are nested all the way under here. It seems a little nuts to go that far. But you could just do this. Something like that. So I'm going to say explore nested data. Also, I'm just feeling fresher. I took a break. Maybe this time we'll get back at it. Then some things will shake out. All right, so that's a good little plan for the day. Let's go to Asana and just clean up our backlog real quick before we dive in. This stuff is all in progress. Oh, the other thing from Jonah is that Jonah said, gotta let anyone in the meeting. And so I was trying to figure out what is how do we do boards and cards? But if anybody with the link can see the meeting, and he said he's insistent on that. And as soon as he said it, I was like, well, yeah, of course, you're so right. I was in developer mind just trying to figure out how this should work. You have to be able to get a link and see a meeting, period. Which means anyone with a link, meaning anyone can at least request a single board. They need to be able to get a board. Without any permission, without even logging in. So this is scary to me because I'm thinking about the security rules and I'm thinking well, it's security through obfuscation, but it is pretty obfuscated. Those IDs are nuts. And I think if we just made it so that the board could be locked, essentially, I had this idea when he was saying that well, if anybody can get it, then it's sometimes in a problem, you're getting pulled in one direction and you're getting pulled in another direction. If you see like, all right, I'm just going to go all this direction. What if anybody can just truly open access? Well, then what else can we do to solve this other problem? And I said, well, what if we have it's totally open. Anybody can get access with the ID, but facilitators can lock boards once they're no longer open. So it's not about whether you can access it, it's about the facilitator flipping the switch, and maybe it's a timing thing or something else. So I think a locked flag on that might be good. So locked flag, and this could be manual for now on boards, prevent participants from viewing board. All right, that's a good list. Now let's go here. So I'll author up with the tester. Hey, we did that with Jonah. We need to do another test though before. I mean, it's sort of before private beta, but we can call it private betas. I'll just say do a live in person. This will be more specific. Run a meeting with a team in Shuffleboard. Marketing video. So okay, the video. Jonah talked about videos a lot. One thing I know is that the video has to be a demo. So I'm going to say shoot demo video, which just show the product very quickly. Show the product in use, i.e. how it works. People need to know how it works. It's not obvious what this thing is. It's not like a replacement for Google Docs or something. Like it's not, you can't just say like this is the best to-do list. What is a to-do list? This is like a thing that doesn't really super exist yet. So we gotta show how it works. That's important. That's soon. Marketing video, all this stuff, how it works, yeah. But like why I made it, this is like, this is actually for a launch. We don't really need a video to like be like, hey, hey, welcome to Shuffleboard and the other. I mean, that would be nice to have a really nice polished video for launch. But a demo video, what did I do here? Okay. A demo video it seems pretty important. It's actually part of the user experience usability issue, not just a branding thing. So our private beta or private meeting test is done. So these are now part of our private beta list. Just keeping it clean. So this stuff is definitely next. Shoot demo video, slide empty state in presenter mode. That's just a little thing that's ready. What of these would be good to do first once we get it going? I think, I guess these would be good. Create custom templates. Let's kind of go together. Hopefully it's a twofer. Return an instant name. Oh God, I guess, all right. All right, let's do it. I'm going to copy this little note for myself into Asana. And I have it forever. Let's open up our organizations branch. This is where it's all happening. We're now going to npm start. You know what else we're going to do? Whoop. We are going to, what does that call that? npm run emulator to test our Firestore functions. Actually, I'm going to npm start here because I think that you can't see this far right screen with my video. The video is covering that. I'm going to npm start again over there, so that's just out of the way. Here's where we'll do our npm test. Yeah, we got some failed tests, but that's okay. That's where we're at. All right, what do we want to start with? Right out the test I want to pass. Hey, let's read some documentation first, okay? Let's do that. Writing JavaScript unit tests. I'm going to say this, JavaScript unit test best practices, because I don't want a tutorial on how to set up Mocha. You know, I just like command clicking through a bunch of tabs and then swiping through them all. I'm going to say unit testing best practices because I don't even know how to do this in any language. It's not really that JS specific, excuse me. .NET. All right. Number one unit testing best practice. Stop doing it. You clickbait mother. Oh, what is this? Okay, it initializes some stimulus and observes behavior. That's helpful framing. Thank you, Sergio. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Oh, that's a dark metaphor. So actually, the examples here not being in JavaScript is a little bit not great for me because it's a little it's a little harder to figure out. This is pretty high level, except for the code part, which isn't relevant. Design. Apparently it's not about fighting bugs, it's about design. TDD. Specifying. Dirty hybrids. Okay. I don't know if I care that much about keeping all this spick and span clean. Like, what? Oh, go away. So this is really talking about unit tests because that's what I Googled. But unit tests is like, I don't even care about unit testing. I just care about writing tests. Like, help me test anything. You know what, let's do this. JavaScript unit test examples. Maybe good examples, because I don't want to just show how it works. I want to show people, say, hey, this is a great example of a unit test. And I can just look at it, see what it looks like. So we got before each nested in here. That's interesting. What are our tests? What are we saying in here? We got a before each and before. Is that a mocha thing? Probably. Yep, let's find out what that is all about. Smashing Magazine. Remember that from back in the day. It's a little cute. Okay. Shout out, yeah. I wanted to get into a little bit more detail about this before each stuff. Just read the docs. Okay, this is talking about all the different tools, and I don't want to be distracted by cool tools because I already got it and it's working, and this is a rabbit hole. Don't tempt me. Don't you tempt me. You're out of here. Okay. List of tools. This looks nice. Keep that up for a second. Okay, oh my god. Testing must stay dead simple and clear as day. This test seems small. I'm noticing that all these tests seem small, and all my tests are huge. So that's the first thing I'm thinking. I gotta trim it down a little bit. And I also, there's before and after things. We need to get those fixed. Those need to go a different place. It should reset. One expect in each hit. That's one question I had. Can I just throw them all in there and make it like a big chunk? No, keep them small. Good to know. Good to know, good to know, good to know. Okay. Also good to know. Shared setup before each. Oh, this article is what I like. Yes, multiple things before each. This is a list of all the things I was doing wrong. I don't know how to pronounce her name, so I'm not going to try. Is it her? I think so. Oh my gosh. Avoid logic in your tests. Yeah, I don't need that. I would like this, but I'm not signed in under my email. I'll clap for that later, but I'm going to paste this into my doc here. Just put documentation in your code sometimes. Is that a good idea or a bad idea? I don't really know. So I just learned something, people. Just like that scene in The Matrix where he's like, I know Kung Fu. We just figured it out. We just learned how to unit test. We know some big old mistakes we're making. Yeah. No thanks. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so this is like the other thing. I'm going to keep this open. This might be fun. Let's just read it. Don't hesitate to nest your suites to structure. Okay, nesting is good. Good to know, because normally nesting is bad. Or sort of. Name your tests properly. My God. Int set correct property when called. Yeah. That makes sense. Oh, totally true. Okay, yeah, I'm down with that. Don't observe everything, just like see if it worked. Properly set up actions applied to. I don't know what any of this means. What is it? Properly set up the actions that apply to tests. Okay, this is before. Yeah, I need to know this. This is before each. Oh my God, guys, our tests are going to get so much better after this. Consider using factory functions. Yeah, we sort of have that already from the boilerplate we put together. Yep. Building your test suite from a simple case of work. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Okay, I've read enough in my brain that I need to do something. I think I need to try it. It's just, now it's too abstract. The last thing I want to see is like literally how to run this. Brief outline, run, oh God, okay. So it does befores and before each and to okay, no. Stack Overflow. Before is run once before all the tests and are described. Well, that's obvious. I just didn't think about it. Now what you say, it makes total sense. Okay. Now that you can see over here, I'm going to shrink this down. Oh, we got some work to do, people. Okay. So this phrasing, this is a user story, not a test. It should do this. It should, okay. Okay, before before set variable, because I have to save this thing. This is the question. Apparently that is bad. But I don't know why. Well, this person says it's the right way to do it. Well, what's wrong with all these sticks in the mud? Cool, thank you. Thumbs down. All right. Whoa, hold on. Ooh. This? Should I use this? It's another option. So let's start with cards. We need befores. Before this, what? Why? Is that the ESLint issue we were dealing with? Probably. I don't know why, but whatever. So we don't need this anymore. encouraging. Good, good. So let's break it up a bit. Cards. Are let's go to our Firebase documentation, by the way, to see how these people are doing it specifically here. What did we see last time? Should let, so that makes sense. Should let, should force. Should let, should not let. Because these are rules, so that's what we're testing. Are we letting people do something or not? Okay. Oh yeah, those are so generic. Time, 40 minutes. All right. We already know it's boards. Let's just make a bunch of tests here. We don't need to break it up yet. It should. We're generally going to follow the practice of read. The rules are basically, there's reading and writing things, but really reading is getting a specific thing or listing all the things, and writing is actually creating, updating, deleting. So I don't know if I want to map it too quickly to those too closely to those functions, because that's the Firebase implementation. I should test more broadly, but those are the things I'm thinking I want to make sure I cover. So all these cards, should auth users read any card? This is actually going to be different. It's going to be a specific card. So we're going to do Bob card. So maybe I do want to describe here called like reading cards. Condense it here a bit. Duplicate that. We only have 2 more tests here. We're going to write a lot more. That's not even what that does at all. Yeah, these tests are terrible. I'm glad we're doing this. Auth users create cards they wrote. Isn't it content? Not let non-auth use. So maybe you have to at least have an anonymous auth. We'll build, anonymous auth. You still have to know who's doing it. Create cards. Actually, so that means non-auth users read all cards. We should probably be doing this for boards first because cards might be nested. This is going to be a while, guys, so we're buckle in. All right. We don't even know if this is going to work with our new nesting situation, so there's a lot going on here. I want to run this sooner than later, so I'm just going to comment out all these other tests, which is probably making somebody out there cringe. Period. Let's just run it, see what happens. All right, failed for show. So that's nice. We've got cards and then this sort of sub thing. Coverage information. Okay. So our better way of writing tests is good. The tests are failing because we haven't actually updated the rules to reflect these new rules. And I don't really feel the need to do that right now because we might have to change all these rules up anyway. So I just like the idea that we have this new way of setting up these tests. If they had all failed, then the setup method probably wouldn't work, but I'm pretty confident that this is doing something because reading cards should not let non-auth users read cards. So yeah, that's just because we haven't written rules for that, but otherwise it's working. This is good news. So basically what I want to do is I want to write all these tests out maybe for all the things that I want the test to do. Like, how is this thing supposed to work? Let's figure that out first and write the tests for that. And, you know, if we do that, then all we have to do is go back and make sure we have to design a database, et cetera, to fit those tests. It's kind of sucks we have to design the database around that, but it might be the case. Let's just first get this spec written. And this might be like overkill for early startup, and it probably is, but apparently I can't write rules. I can't write good security rules without it. It's just the way Firebase works. I mean, when I try to do it without this, it breaks, and it's not working according to my session with Jonas. So apparently it's necessary. And it's good for me to actually describe what the hell I'm trying to do here, because otherwise this thing is just going to be so buggy. Okay. Let's do users next. Doesn't really matter. This is probably bad, but it's, you know, whatever. It's fine. We'll figure out how to do it better later. Let's just copy this actually for the other ones because we know we're going to need it here. In here. Okay. The befores. Should those go at the very top? We'll duplicate it for now and then abstract it later if it makes sense. So those aren't really users, they're auth. Because these are users. Don't eat it. Don't eat it. Well, actually, this is really just this. There's like a real thing when you're writing code where you think, who wrote this terrible code? Oh, it was me. It was me. I did it. Maybe these could be one-liners, you know, I mean, that might be pretty possible, now that they're pretty small. But I think for readability, we'll keep them this way for now. Oh, somebody showed me how to use Prettier the other day. Maybe I'll do that later. it's the same. Okay, so these user tests are mostly passing, except for should not let people see every user's info. So let's go to our rules and see if we can't just start tweaking here. Users. Create list, allow list if false. So it's not supposed to, oh, did I even test it right? Should not let people, yeah, that's supposed to be fails. One more time. All right, so look, our users tests are passing. We've got pretty extensive user testing. That's a pretty decent spec for everything that's supposed to happen. And that's encouraging. So the users is, coverage is good, I think, and things are pretty much in order there. So that's pretty awesome. We're gonna go through and refactor all this stuff and write a big old spec and get it all figured out. And once that's all written, then we're going to go back and actually try to fix and play with the app to see if we can't get it to, actually. Once we get the spec written, then we have to actually write the code to meet the spec. But we're still writing a big old spec right now, and I think this is useful, and we're making progress, and we've learned a lot about unit tests already today. So good stuff. And look at our Git here. We've got a lot of stuff we wrote, and some stuff we changed for sure. So this is good. Our code is better. It's a chore. We're just doing maintenance here. This is not a feature, but worthwhile. It's been a while. I gotta take a break, and then we'll come back and keep churning. Hello, we're back. Let's do it. Okay, so we're working on our big old spec here. We've written a bunch of good stuff. This is already so much better. So much better. So much better. So let's work on the next one, card reactions. And we're going to do the same thing here. Now, the fact that I'm copying and pasting this makes me think this is really not necessary to do for each of these individually, but we're about it later. We got Alice, we got Bob. Next time we need to add some card reactions. And it will be for, is it card ID? Oh yeah, there's a whole lot going on there. We gotta fix this. So odd in users. Users, I'll just say it should let people read any card reaction. You wanna do that? It should lead people. This isn't really saying what we wanted to say though, because we really want to say is, but how do we need to let them see all cards. Okay, we'll leave it at that for now. Let people read any card reaction. Okay. It should auth users create a card reaction. So it succeeds. The fails that we're doing it, we don't want her to let her do it if Bob made it. Let's get rid of this whole it single quote thing. That should work. And I like that should not is in all caps. Here we are. Auth users, let's just say people. And non-auth users was going to be a specific one. Okay, that's good. What do we want to do for, this is the wrong way to do this, but what did we say we wanted to do for card reactions for updating? Yeah, we just don't update them, or you can delete them though. Okay. This is a hell of a test that needs to go. That's really something. Should let people delete their own card reactions. It should not let people delete other people's card reactions. So Alice can delete her reaction, but cannot delete Bob's reaction. Seems about right. Take it for a spin. Okay. Users is all good. Which is this? Whoa. Card reactions. Reading reactions. There's an issue with that. Updating. That doesn't make any sense. It's interesting that failed. Now what is this big one again? Should let people read any card reaction. One more time. "15 passing, 3 failing." Is it delete? People delete their own card. Null value error for delete. Shuffle card reactions. Not really sure what's going on right now. That's okay. We're gonna have to rewrite some of this stuff anyway soon, so I'm kind of like not that inclined to like tweak all the rules and get them right. I'd rather just get the way that we write the rules right. Let's get the spec right, then we can fix it. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So much better. Whoa. Wow. Wow, I was young then, guys. I was a young man. Didn't know what I was doing. Should I really be even doing this here? Yeah, I think I should be. This should be like a before each or something, because. Yeah, hold on. Okay. Add boards. isn't relevant. This is not my bar. Whoa, what did I do? Hold on. This is nuts. Should let users create a board in an org they belong to. Boards. Ooh, what's org one? That's confusing. Alice org. Should let users create a board in an org that they belong to. Alice. This should work. Alice creating a board in Alice's org, created by Alice. Should not let users create a board they didn't create. They didn't. Without. They don't own. So it should not work if Alice tries to create a board created by Bob, even if it's in Alice's org. And it should not let users create a board in an org that they don't belong to. So even though it should fail if Alice tries to create a board created by Alice, because it's in org 2, which is Bob org. If it's in somebody else's organization, she's not a member of that one yet. We didn't specify that, so that should work. So a lot of this before stuff is actually not repeated, but the stuff that is repeated is the auth. So I'm going to put this up here. This is obvious now. How long is this file? Kind of long. Let's run and see what happens. Not expecting success here. Okay. 19 passing. 19 passing is not bad. Should let users create a board they own in an org they belong to. Should let users create a board they own in an org they belong to. That's not working for poor Alice here. Let's check our board rules. If user equals request resource created by, did I have that in there? Created by Alice, yes. And user's member of org. Organization ID. Have that Alice org now. Members. Doc Alice set of owner. And how do we determine if user is a member of an org? Organization / member / yeah. Okay, so I'm not really sure why that's failing. What's the other one? Cards. Reading cards should not let non-auth users read. Expected request to fail, but it succeeded too. Okay. Ooh. Do I really care about that? I mean, why did I write it that way? Let's try that. Oh, it's a little bit fancy, yeah. You like that? Does that work? Oh, wait, they don't have it. Okay. You got this? This is so annoying. How do you do this? There we go. Hey, look, I can already see it passed. That's nice. So, you know, I'm not trying to get all these things to pass perfectly. We got to figure out our database structure, but this is like nice that things are generally improving. It's that one and card reactions. Delete. So strange. Should let people delete their own card reactions. Card reactions. Delete if user equals created by. Well, it doesn't have created by Alice. So no wonder. I've seen a sea of green, people. Oh, what? Come on. Shouldn't have said it. No value error for delete. Yeah, what is that? When in doubt, just Google it. There's no field. So Alice is going to go to card reactions, find the doc called Alice reactions, and delete it. And what is that stuff? Alice collection, card reactions, setting card reaction created by Alice. Maybe we don't want this. Just try it. So that's what that is. Why? Typos? Why does that fail? Maybe I did not. Is this it here? I might not have looked at this hard enough. Dot thing dot delete. Is this any help? No, it is not. Permission denied. No value error. Forward delete. So it's not finding this. What if we move that stuff up? This is asynchronous. Do I need to be setting? Man, maybe this isn't even happening. It's not saying permission. Is it saying permission denied? It's saying it's null. There's like a. It's making me think it can't even find it. So let's see if this is the case. I don't know why that would be for this and not other things. In fact, I'm not really sure what's unique about this at all, except for maybe delete. Ooh, one failed. Hey, so that worked. So our before thing is not really doing it. I get rid of. It's a very strange, suspicious thing I'm looking at here. Does that mean, is it possible that none of these other before statements are working and I just haven't noticed? Yeah, I'm not really using that. Am I using this? These are all. Yeah, I'm just one failing. Okay, guys, well, we're at there's something going on here. I don't want to chase this down altogether now because I think I want to make sure I spend some time in the bigger picture and get like our org stuff figured out, and it's 11, so it might not have time to really do that with a fresh brain this morning. So I'm just going to set us on a waypoint. I'm going to say we're going to add all of our changes and do a git commit amend. And we are at this work in progress commit anyway. That's fine. So now we've committed our stuff so far. Let's go back to our list here and see where we're at, so we don't get too distracted. Okay. What did we do? Did we read documentation on tests and how to write them? In general, yes. In Mocha, yes. In Firebase, still want to do that. Let's do that before we wrap here. Where are they? Firestorm. So we want to do that. Explore nested data. We didn't do any of that yet. That's sort of our last. Write Stack Overflow post describing my problem. Maybe we can do that at the end here. Gotta let anyone in the meeting. So locked flag on board. So this stuff is all in progress. We should have said can I do subtasks? Is that even a good idea? Oh, I think I've done something very bad. Oh no. Yeah, I screwed it up. I don't want any of these. How do I get rid of them all? Can I select multiple of them? What a shit show. Computers, guys. This is the worst solution ever. It's going to delete all of them and make them empty, so I don't have to think about it. Okay, let's just do it the normal way. Done. This isn't in documentation. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm. That's what I'm doing. Let's make sure we have awaits and everything else, because I think that's important. I did that. Okay, I think I've got what I need to get out of this. So, I'm going to call this done. Actually, is this really done? I'm going to say done. Fix. Text test formatting. So that's what we really did. Now, is this something we even want to do? Like, what does that even mean? We need to figure out the organization, then write the test we want to pass. If we're having problems here. Then, once it's working, write out test we want to pass. Blocked flag on boards. This is its own thing. Not sure where they would. I don't think that's super important yet, but I know that it's nice to know that it can be a thing later. Maybe there, not sure. Oh, computers, oh my God. I lost my work. I get it. I know what I'm going to do with this. I almost wanted to say when stuck, but we'll give myself the benefit of the doubt and say if. Is this the right place? I mean, the problem with these tests is that they depend on the DP structure, so I think they have to go there. This is something we just did. Save changes. Asana. Why are you making me save? So let's write some of the tests that we think are going to be difficult to get passing, because most of these are passing right now. And what is the one that isn't passing? It's writing boards. Should let users create a board they own in an org they belong to. All right, we'll worry about that in a minute. What are some ones that might be a problem here? Let's go through listing. I think that's the big one. Like, if they can list and get a bunch of IDs for anything, then, you know, it's not so obfuscated. Okay, that's good. We've got it for boards. I might break that. We'll see. That was a typo anyway. These are different. We don't want them to read all the cards. How are these both there? I don't know. All right, I think that's a better spec. This should start failing. Oh. This should fail quite a bit. Not as much as I think, though. Okay. So let's, what should they be able to do? Should not let people see a list of all boards. Should, but it should. All boards in orgs they are a member of. This is tricky. are the other ones? Cards. Should not let people see a list of all cards, but should let people see a list of for any board. I don't know if that works or not. But you should be able to see, read, so I was getting complex there. When people create or edit their own DVDs. We need to use users as the database thing and people as like actual humans. I'm going to just read through these and just look at the code and see if it's reasonably right, because I've been pretty slapdash so far. I'm doing time. Oh my god, it's been an hour. I should let people view any single board. be Bob reaction. It should be read any single card reaction, so it doesn't matter. It should be somebody else's, just to make sure. Writing card reaction succeeds. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is the weird one. This is terrible, but I just wanted to make sure this is working. Something's going on here. Should really be a membership. We'll worry about that later. Just the important stuff, the essentials that we're working on right now. Okay. So these are looking good. I mean, what I'm trying to accomplish here is writing the tests we want to pass. This is the test I want to pass. Now we got to write the DB. We have good test coverage now. Look, we made some progress. Now, we only have one thing left to do here. Try to get these tests to pass with a new hierarchical data structure. Asana, delete multiple subtasks. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Shift, click. See, if I did this here, I could delete them all. is. Okay. All right, let's bring some back. How do I mark this complete? Did I break that? What's going on? Oh my God, they make this so hard. Okay, so this is what's left. And this is now part of this. In fact, this is now, this is the same. This is what's next. Oh, there's our list. I remember I did that. Okay. So we got our tests sorted out. I wish I'd gotten more done. I'm gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back and maybe we'll do some nested stuff. We'll see how much we can get done while I want to spend time on this. I got a lot to do today because I'm leaving on a big trip. We gotta pack, gotta clean, gotta do a lot. But we'll see how far we get. Be right back. Okay, guys. I'm back. So I just sat for a while and just stared into space and thought about it. And I'm excited for this nested structure. Here's what I think about it. I think if we have a thing called an organization that contains boards and templates and members, and those members are just memberships associated with users, and those users are associated with auth users, I could see it working, because then I think I can write tests that pass that, because all these things, it's now scoped. The collection that we're getting is the entire collection, because the collection is only the cards in the board or only the boards in the org. And I think that's how this can work. And I'm not sure I'm loving Firebase based off of this. But this is a real-time app, and this is a real-time data. It's not the real-time database, it's the Firestore, but it's the same thing. I don't know that polling, I wouldn't want to have to write WebSockets. So we're close enough, we're using the tools we got, we know how to do it, we're gonna go for it. And I was really thinking about it, it's like, okay, well, this whole nested thing, like, why do I hate it so much if it's gonna help me get this thing done? And one of the reasons is that it's gonna make it harder for me to go into the database and admin, because I can't just, you have to go in, like the console, Firebase console, where you click through is just a pain. But you know what? I can write my own tools to fix that. I can go through and write my own queries. They have an ability to query multiple things now. So as an admin, I can do that. I can write some tools to make that better. And by the way, I shouldn't be hand tweaking the database anyway if this is going to be a production app. So that's fine. That's how it works. It makes sense enough. And I think that I can get all these tests to pass, and that's what matters. That is what matters. So what I really want to do right now is just dive in. I want to dive in. I want to get all this stuff done. I want to build. I'm going to have to rebuild my views. I'm going to have to rebuild my getters. I'm going to have to rebuild the React Firestore components that fetch things. I'm going to have to. That's my getters. My setters, I'm going to have to rewrite. I think what I might do is pass in a reference. Like, I'm going to have to figure out how that works. I want to do all that. And it's only 11 a.m. But here's what I've realized in my life. This is my pattern, my work pattern. if I dive in now, I'm going to start getting hungry again. I'm going to start getting a little bit, I'm going to have a little bit of directed attention fatigue, and I'm not going to be able to do a great job at it. And so what I've done in the past is I've told myself I stop coding right at noon. And maybe it's time to bring back that strict rule. But the gist of the rule is that, no, you got to take a break. And by the way, I got a lot to do today. And I use code sometimes to like avoid getting household chores done. So I have to clean my whole apartment. I have to drop off 2 bikes, other places, and get ready for this road trip I'm going on. So we're going to wrap up. I'm going to take this energy and excitement I feel for this, and I'm just going to ruminate on it all day. I just know. And that way when tomorrow I'm going to wake up, I'm going to be like, bam! And I'm going to need that energy and that momentum because this is going to be tricky. This is a tricky one we're about to embark on. Okay. So, 4 minutes left before noon. Is there anything else I can do right now? Little things that I might want to do to clean things up so that look, to our Prettier. Yeah, this stuff, let's see if we can knock a couple of these little ones out maybe. That might be nice so that we have like our thing clean and we're just, ready to go there. Actually, before we do that, let's run this one more time. I just want to see where we're at. And I'm going to want to get this work in progress committed. Oh, look at all that red. Bloodbath out here. So it didn't even, does it normally say that? Whatever, the point is that we had 18 passing and three failing? I thought it'd be a lot more than that. Hold on. Is this thing that I'm doing here not failing tests? It should let people see it less than 1 more. Before all hooking boards. I'm not allowed to do this stuff. Which one is failing? Is it one of these or one of these? Nope. Is it one of these? It's one of those. Is it these two? Yep, both of them fail. Shit. Well, did I know that already? These tests, we need to do some work on these tests before these are actually called passing. This is going to pass, I think, quite a bit more than it thinks it should, maybe. Should let people create a board they own and or they belong to. So we're not letting people create boards. We're not blocking people from reading all cards. Okay. Yeah. So we got some issues. That's all good, honestly, because we're just in a middle state here. Look, so many changes. A lot going on. A lot going on. It's not a word. Is that really the description of that, though, that I want to include? only the rules that we're doing this organization thing. Yeah, I'm not sure we're going to keep any of this. So we'll do one big commit because I don't want to commit this if it's just total crap, and it kind of is right now. And it might even not even be really what we're going to do. Let's just say this. Change one little thing just so I can get a change and do this again. I don't know how to use Vim. It's noon. It should probably stop. Slide empty state in presenter mode. Presenting. Great. I think that's good. But that is not on the right branch. Prettier. I don't want to do it on commit necessarily. Maybe on save. Ooh, just do it in my editor. All right, guys, I'm gonna try this out. Um, and then what? Respects editor.format unsafe. Setting. Try my keyboard shortcuts. Okay. Let's see if it works. Whoa. What is going? Oh my god. Oh my god. You know, it really just. I don't think this is. I don't think this is appropriate. It just did a bad job. What release is 1.6? I wonder what I got. Yeah, I mean, it didn't do that though, did it? It did something pretty different, pretty wacky. Let's try another one. Woof! Swing and a miss. Let's try restarting code and make sure that we're not using some other random formatter. Like maybe it's not Prettier that's doing it. Oh, this is horrible. Okay. Well, first, let's go to our settings, now that I know my keyboard shortcut. Get rid of this. I'm going to go and revert these. That was dumb. I want to make sure all my settings are saved. Can I export my settings? I'm a little nervous that I'm not going to be able to. Just in case. No. What? No. Okay. Okay, everything settings-wise seems to be good. Still getting my colors. So, I don't know what the hell that was. This Prettier thing. Yeah, I don't know what that's all about. So we're just gonna say it made the formatting horrible. All right, let's just make sure we're good to go for the rest of the day. Tomorrow we're gonna come in strong on these. Hopefully tomorrow if we have time. Excuse me. This is a bug. Should we do this soon? Demo video has to be after basic look and feel. This we should do soon. This has to be before the demo video. I don't know about however they want. That's like maybe implying a little much. In fact, I don't want to do that before we do our private beta. We need this, we need this, we need this. Whole access role stuff. Users can purchase a subscription. Help in-app. I'm gonna say nice marketing video because just to distinguish from our demo video, which is going to be not that nice. You need a little script for this. You need to shoot it, and then you need to edit it, and you need to publish it. Make is just too big a task. You need to break it down. Meta tags. Yeah, we don't need that for private beta. You know another one that's ready is document ideas from Jonah's session. That's what we gotta do. What else do I want to do? What else we got to do for this? Make stickers? People seem to love stickers. What else? What else? 5 landing pages on here. Yep. Just want to do a little inventory in my head. What else does this thing need? Captivating television, I know. See all right, oh, I'm excited to do all this fun stuff. So we gotta wrap it up. So we're done for today. Ooh, it pains me. I wanna come back and work on it, but we're gonna take that energy, we're gonna do it tomorrow morning. And I gotta take the energy I have now and take care of the rest of my life. Work-life balance, people. See ya.